Welcome back to TL's Hobby Center. Today we're doing a review on the pickup truck, which is the farm truck. And this is a pretty big piece. Well, it says 18 plus, so I'm guessing it's a pretty intense build, so that's going to be interesting to see what we can do. I've been wanting to get this, and I've had it for a little while, and I just finally got time to do it. But this is a seasonal model, so you can change out the all the parts in this for decorational decor. There's also, I'm guessing there's, I don't know what that is, might be different wording. Yeah, so you got fall, summer, spring, and winter. So you can put the reef on the front of the truck, leave everything in the bed of the truck if you really wanted to. It's got a pail and a watering can for the flowers, and you got the reef, and then some other stuff like a present. Yeah, just it's a different build. It's kind of cool and kind of like this one you can actually leave out in front of the woman and you won't really care because they would actually kind of enjoy it as well. So that's a cool add-on to it. This thing's going to be probably about, I'm going to assume about this big. Just I don't know why it's so big, but I guess we'll get to it. But for this one, we're also going to do a special by adding on some lights. I've never put one of these on before, but this is a light kit for this, so this is going to be a different one to do. There's a few other kits you can get for these. I found this one on Amazon as one of the cheaper ones, so we'll see how that does. But I'll let you guys know for sure how it turns out. But I think it's enough talking about. I mean, you guys can see the picture and kind of know what we're going to get into. So let's just go ahead and get this thing opened up and see what we can get into. Okay. So we have ourselves a abundance of parts, and just as I kind of expected. So we're going to be starting us off with all the, all the attachments for the seasonings of the year. Seasons of the year, and just going to start off with the reef and the pail and everything else. So you're going to have buckets of tomatoes or apples and carrots and pumpkins. So we're going to be building all those first, so that way they're out of the way. And then we'll be starting on building the actual frame of the truck, which is going to be bag 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's going to be 8 different processes here that we're going to be starting with. And then you got the wheels and tires, the nice decorative decals. I'm not sure what this one's for yet, but we have them. But yeah, how many steps there's going to be, I don't know yet. There is going to be a nice high quality 355 steps. So that's what we're going to be working with, and that's going to be pretty much what it is for the truck to build this. So yeah, and then after I get the truck built, we'll go back in and do the light setup. I'll go through the package of this too after everything's built, because it's easier to do this when it's completely built than trying to do it while you're building it, because you could rip a wire, because apparently these are very thin. So be mindful of that if you ever do one of these. But that's it. I think we're ready to kind of jump into this and see what we can build out of this. So let me go ahead and throw you guys on the time lapse and enjoy. There we go. We got ourselves a pretty neat pickup truck that we have from Lego. And this thing's actually kind of more mind-blowing than I thought it was going to be, so that's a good sign. But before I do the full review onto it, we're going to go on ahead and put our light kit on too. So let's go and see what we got in here, because I've never put one of these on yet. Okay. So it looks like we have a battery pack, a remote, some of the turn signals, some more LEDs, wiring, some of these, LED strips, more wires to plug in the parts. I believe this would be if you want to run it into a USB. More LED strips, more wires and LEDs, wires and LEDs. There's just a bunch of wires and LEDs. It gives you a pick tool to be able to do this. And then the instructions are going to be... I have no idea what these are. So, guys will have to look up on their interwebs. But we'll get this stuff figured out, and we'll get some stuff lighting up on here. So let's go and do a little time lapse of me doing this real quick, and then alrighty, people. Honestly, not to say this might be my favorite kit that we've built so far. This one's actually pretty mind-blowing. Has lots of accessories, so make sure you keep a really good eye in contact with them, because there's lots of little pieces. Honestly, this is a good display piece for anybody if you have a wife that might like decorations. This one would be good because it's good for all season, and she won't mind, it'll be up all year long. But honestly, the bed of this thing is like perfect for storage, because you can basically fit everything in there. It's good for, it can literally store everything it needs inside of the bed, which is the cool thing. And then also, if you don't want to have, the wood sides, you can still take these off, and you can still have the wood sides on the side, and you can still have the truck with just the extenders out. So that's fine too. So all in all, it's pretty cool. It's good seasonal. It's got pumpkins. It's got the wreath. It's got signs for pumpkins and carrots and anything else you can think of. And here's all the carrots. You got a watering jug for spring with the flowers. You got milk. You got apples and what looks like tomatoes. Has pretty much everything you'd really think of for every season. But one of the best things about this truck that I've purchased for this is the lights. I really love the lights. They are honestly one of the best things I've ever actually invested into for a Lego. So, what I've done is, on this, I have run the main power source up through right about here behind the front wheel well, which you can't really tell at a quick glance. So that'll be fine. If anything, we'll just display it on the other side. But on the inside of the bed, I have the power source, which is just a battery pack. And that is this right here. And it fits perfectly in there. And once you have all the stuff on the inside, you don't even notice that it's even back here. Like all the pumpkins can cover that, and you don't even notice that. You could put the water gallon jug back in there again. You can put the wreath back in here too. You could stack the tomatoes and apples. Then you put the water jug right here, and you don't even notice that it's even in there. I mean, you'd have to really look around. So the other good thing is that this thing comes with a remote, so you can either also kind of jimmy that somewhere in here too without it really being known. Like, you can even put it on top of that if you wanted to, just for storing it. And then if you have friends over or something, you can always take the remote out, leave it in the cab of the truck if you really wanted to. You still won't really even notice it in there. You can do really whatever you want, but it's all that. To activate the lights even, there's an on and off switch on the battery pack, or you can have a constant source. They give you this little extra doodad that is USB run, so you can probably even plug it into a charger as long as it's getting a few volts. I don't know exactly what it is, but you can leave it probably plugged into a charger and it can stay on for as long as you would really want. But the LEDs might get hot, so they might burn out faster, so you have that as a spare. But to activate the LEDs, I'll shut the lights off so you can see it a little better. All you have to do is hit the on button and the thing just lights up. Like, this thing is freaking wicked. But the only thing I don't like to, if you ever want to display the hood, is you kind of have a rat's nest underneath the hood, which is fine, but you're going to have that. But, I mean, with the lights being on, you don't really notice it, but you can kind of see they're just kind of all over the place. There's not really a good place to store them, but it's a nice display piece of the truck itself. You wouldn't be really displaying it for the hood, which is fine. I'm happy with that. But the LEDs and everything is worth the, I think it was like 20-30 bucks for the LED set. Probably I'm going to buy this for just about all the other kits I have. But the truck is pretty functional. You got the doors as usual. We'll turn it on, you can see inside better. It's got also a present for the Christmas time theme. It's got gauges. I mean, it's got everything you could think of in here. I mean, it's a really nice piece. But all in all, that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, the tailgate goes up and down. Everything moves around the way it needs to be. You got the bedside extenders. I mean, there is no crazy mechanisms other than the steering. You can steer with the wheel. I'm a steering wheel. It free moves. And I'll show you the other side. Oh, there goes my mirror. I mean, it just opens up like that, and boom, you're good to go. So this thing's, I would highly recommend all you guys to get this. This is like a 10 out of 10 impressed with me, honestly. This is one of the best ones I've built, even compared to like the Batman Technic one even. But I'll show you guys like a quick comparison. I'll shut this off right this second. Leave this back here. So here's it next to the Batmobile. I'm going to bring it back a little bit so you guys can see. And as you can tell, it's still a decently large vehicle. This is a pretty large vehicle itself, but this is like pretty bulky, like heavy feeling. It's got some heft to it. So it definitely outweighs this, because it's just a hell of a lot heavier. And as you see, I just ripped the hood off, the roof off. So that's fine. So don't grab by the hood. And then I also have a Technic NASCAR Camaro that's also compared to. And I also have a Japanese brand, basically a Speed Champions, but it's not, but it's more of a collector's piece if anything. And that is the Ghostbusters car. And they're all, I mean, you can see that it's like the middle size, basically. You got small, medium, large, and then extra large sizes for your vehicles. If you're looking to collect a specific size, here you go. I mean, it's definitely, this is much longer with the flames hitting the wall. This is longer than the NASCAR, and this one is just, you know, as big as your hand. So it's as, most of them are going to be about as wide as the front of the car itself. But again, I would say highly recommend picking this truck up. It's one of the best ones I've built. I loved it. It takes a little bit longer than most vehicles because it's very detail oriented, but it's definitely worth it. Worth the money getting it. I believe it's about $150. Don't quote me on that, but it's about $150. But also the LEDs, I would highly recommend it. Changes the vehicle's the way it looks, the features of it. It just changes it completely. It's like a whole new vehicle. I mean, it looks kind of plain being the way it is, but when you put the lights on, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, it's a nice touch. But if If you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to leave the comments and like the video. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be trying to get some more builds out soon here and there. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask again. But that's going to be about it for us. Keep on building, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.